Today's episode is for you if you've ever wanted to get better at something and you've felt stuck. You've been frustrated with the progress that you've been making. You've been pulling your hair out. It's been, why am I getting better as fast as I think I can be? Why haven't I been able to do this thing yet? And it does your head in, doesn't it? Absolutely does your head in. You're extremely frustrated. You have no idea what to do next. Should you stay on the path? Is what I'm doing actually getting me better? Or should I just give up, or should I try something new? And that's something that I think all of us who want to do great things experience a lot. And I'm here to tell you today a few solutions on how to figure out if you should stay the path or if you should pivot and change direction. This is stuff that I work a lot with my clients on a weekly basis, and obviously we're putting in plans in place to try and make them better cricketers, whether it's from a physical point of view, whether it's something technical, whether it's tactics, whether it's nutrition, lifestyle, whatever it is. We'll always have plans in place to elevate a part of their lifestyle or a part of them, the human being, to make them perform better on the cricket field and as everyday human beings. And it's really important to understand that progress, you can't expect progress to be linear. I think that's number one thing. And that's one thing I'm massive with my online clients. And we talk about this a lot, where, we try this thing, we try this technical thing. If it doesn't work right away, I've noticed a lot of people get, a little bit frustrated. Like, it didn't work, it doesn't work. And that closed mindset where you say it doesn't work is, I think, one of the main reasons why people don't elevate to the levels that they do. And I think that's also why it's really, really positive to have a coach or a mentor or someone there to help set plans with you, to help set up training sessions with you, to help put in a strength and conditioning program or a nutrition plan or something like that, because it allows you to stay the course long enough to actually reap the rewards from it. I know, from my personal experience when I was a junior cricketer, I'd try one thing and didn't work, and done. Try something else, and I'd chop and change, or I'd do a gym program for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'd jump off it and I'd try a new exercise, or I'd try something different, or I'd follow a running program for a week or so, and then I'd just chop and change. I don't really feel like doing that today. I'm going to do something different. But that's why having a coach, I reckon, or a mentor is so powerful, where they've laid out the session for you, they're objective, they take your feelings out of it, and you just got to go and bang, follow the plan and trust the process. So if that's something that you are interested in, links are down below to my online coaching. I'd love to help you out to be the best player that you ever have been and play the highest level of cricket that you ever have, because it's something that's really, I've got a couple of really clients here front of mind when I'm making this episode today, and one of them is a fast bowler playing over in the UK, and we've been working a lot on developing a bit more pace, trying to bowl faster, which a lot of people want. And with that, we're experiencing a little bit of growing pains, and what I mean by that is, in the process of trying to gain some ball speed, his performances on field might not have been what he would like. And this person is from the Southern Hemisphere, so he does play 2 summers. And we're sort of using this England season as a on-field training development year. Yes, he wants to do well, but when you're doing something new and you're trying to develop something that's uncomfortable, there's always going to be growing pains associated with that. And if he's trying to bowl pace and trying to bowl a bit faster, and what we're trying to do is a couple of technical things and some things with his run-up, and then some things with his gym program and etc., trying to extract a different feeling from his action, then there's going to be a trade-off somewhere. There's going to be a trade-off with accuracy. There's going to be a trade-off with consistency and it feeling comfortable. Because when you do something new, when you're learning something and you're doing something that you haven't done before, like if you haven't bowled 120 Ks an hour before, then it's going to feel uncomfortable to change what you have been doing and that you've ingrained that technique for years to then go and do the new thing. So it's really important when you have goals of getting better to set the expectations of, you know what, it's going to feel weird. There's going to be parts of this that feel really, really uncomfortable. And that's okay. And there's also, I was chatting to him as well about, there's a speed and accuracy trade-off. So if we're focusing on speed in game, we just got to accept that while you're learning this new technique, that there's going to be a form of accuracy drop-off. And you might leak a fair few more runs. But also going to the game, being accepting that that's also fine. And this is a part of the process of getting better. Because the easiest thing to do, the most comfortable thing to do would be just to, no, that's right, you just bowl how you normally bowl, and we won't change anything, and you'll be the same player that you were 6 months ago, 12 months ago, the same player you have been for the past 2 or 3 years. But is that why you come to me for coaching? Do you want to be the same player, or do you want to be something a bit different? Do you want to be a bit more dynamic, fitter, faster, more explosive? And if that's the case, then there's always growing pains. That is something that's just always going to be there when you're changing everything. Think about it when you're, like, even with batting as well, you're trying to make a technical change or you're trying to be a bit more expansive, then there's going to be times where you might go out. You might have a low score. You might try that shot in a game and it might not come off. That is like, that's the point where it's like you're at a crossroads. That's where you probably start questioning yourself. Do I continue on this path of trying to bowl faster? And he was questioning that. He's messaging me, I'm not sure this is the right thing. It's been one game, and that self-doubt creeps in. That's where a lot of people experience that self-doubt, where it goes, no, it doesn't work, and then just slip back into what's comfortable. And if you do that, you will never ever evolve, you will never grow, you'll never ever reach the level that you want to be. If you're like an amateur player, if you're someone who's playing 2s or 3s, or you haven't made that rep team, or if you're not where you want to be, like if you want to stay at the level you're at and you're comfortable with doing that, then absolutely stay there. Don't take many risks. But if there is a goal of self-development and getting better and playing a high level, or making, if you are playing in the first team, is it making team of the year? Is it just elevating to try and win a flag for your team? Like, whatever it is, there's an element of risk that needs to be taken, because the crossroads comes when it doesn't work the first time. And if you slip back into what's comfortable, then that's not growth. I was reading a really good book called Hidden Potential by Adam Grant, and talked about that people's potential is hidden behind a little bit of struggle, a little bit of uncomfortableness. And it's often that you get worse before you get better, or it feels worse before you get better. And sometimes you can, I think we've experienced this, where you feel less confident about something, but although you've probably gotten better. That's why confidence and how you feel is not always the best thing to go off on what you should do. I think we all know this from a discipline motivation point of view. If you don't feel like a gym session, or you don't feel like going for a run, then we probably should go for it. But even when it comes to skill development as well, if your natural instinct is go, oh no, that's a bit too hard, and pull back, you might want to lean into that discomfort a little bit more, because I think that's where the growth is. So when you get to that point where you go, oh no, where do I go from here? I always encourage lean into it. Lean into it. Because the easy thing to do is just go, stop, go, nah, don't want to do it anymore. The hard thing to do is go back to the well, try again. Because you can't expect, when you're making technical change, or you're trying to be a more aggressive player, or you're making change, it to work straight away. How unrealistic is that? You need to expect and set the expectations that you're going to have growing pains. Your progress is not going to be linear. There's going to be ups and downs. That's where reframing is really important, and having your mindset around that is you just got to think discomfort means you're pushing the edge. And if it does feel comfortable, it means that you're not pushing the edge enough. Your growth will come from discomfort, effort, and consistency. And to develop a new technique, a new skill, to change the way you play, you need that discomfort, and you need to stay consistent with that and bring the effort. Because without that, you're just the same player over and over again. And next year, you're going to be the same player. And then the year after that, you're going to be the same player. And you're never going to take it to the next level. You don't get better by accident, and you don't get better by just being really, really comfortable on what you're doing. It's so important. And that's something like I reckon the mistakes that I made when I was playing is like, I was a bit of a man child, grew up, like things came pretty easy to me. Like, as soon as I lost a little bit of weight, I was bang, straight into the Vic team, opened the bowling, rolled straight through, just got comfortable, just did what I normally did, trained hard, did the training, but didn't train with any discomfort, didn't really try to add layers to my game. Like when I tried to make some technical changes once and it just got a bit hard, felt clunky, lost a little bit of pace. I'm like, nah. Then went back to my old action. Then, like even trying to develop some slow balls, I'm like, yeah, I'm really motivated to really expand my slow ball repertoire. Get like 2 weeks in the preseason, I bowl a couple onto the side net. I'm like, nah, I'll stay where I am. Hindsight, I should have just kept on bowling balls into the side net and figuring things out and learning and lean into that. And I should have kept on trying to hone and refine that technique and try and bowl a little bit quicker and, you know, challenge myself instead of just, going back to something that's comfortable. And like, I was the same pace bowling from like 15, 16 to, 22. I didn't really gain any pace. I've got a bit of accuracy because I grew with that action. I'll become a better bowler, but there's not many 16-year-olds with enough ball speed to go play at high level cricket, is there? You need to be pushing and getting better and trying to change things and do things differently. And I just didn't, like, as a human being, we don't really love being uncomfortable. Like, getting in an ice bath and all that sort of stuff. Like, fuck that. Me as a person, not about it. Leaning to discomfort from a skill development point of view, like, I hate being bad at things. I hate it. It sucks. It feels shit ass. You feel, I don't know, you feel like you're incapable, you feel horrible. Like I said, I understand that. And that's why. That's why I'm sitting here. That's why I'm sitting here not playing sport at as high levels as I probably could be. I just couldn't lean into that discomfort for long enough. So that's why I'm really massive with the clients I work with. Lean into it. Expect there to be some. Because progress is not linear. And I reckon a lot of you, like, you would probably stop right before you start to reap the rewards from it. There's a nice graph where it's like the hard work you're putting in, the struggle, then you stop, and then there's like a line going up to the progress that you were just about to make. So it's super important to just stick it out. If you've got a good plan, so let's say you have a goal, crystal clear goal, you have a really good plan, you've got a coach that's helping you out with it, or you're doing it yourself, when you're confident in that plan, when you're in a rational state of mind, you've got to have the mental strength to commit to that for long enough. And you can't expect yourself to pick things up in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Like, sometimes it just takes a couple months to improve or something. Now, obviously, from each session, you need to reflect, analyze what went well, what didn't, talk to your coach. Hey, did this work? Did that? I reckon that worked really well. This didn't work well. And you stop doing the things that didn't work well and you do more of the things that do work well. So the system's in place. And when I work with my clients, we don't just go, yep, we just go and do the same thing over and over again. We're always tweaking, analysing, talking about what worked, what didn't, what did it feel like, etc. So it's a reaction. There's reaction and there's dynamicness in how we adjust the sessions week on week, but it's about sticking the course even though when it is, a little bit uncomfortable. And I would bet that a lot of the clients I work with would stop after 1 or 2 sessions, but I'm like, nah. If we're confident in the plan, I've seen it work that many times, we're sticking to the process. We're working through it, we're doing this is how it works. I've even found I've got another example with a a spin bowler actually, and his goal was to improve his ball speed as well. And the quote that we love to use, and we've been chatting a lot recently in our calls, has been, "We can have it all, but you just can't have it all at once." And he come into me with, he wanted to like revolutionize bowling, get better quicker, which is fucking awesome. He's probably listening to this. I want my spin, my flight. I want to add some variations. I want to increase my ball speed through the air. Unbelievable. Awesome. But we can't work on all those things at once. And that's one thing too, that your great big plans, yep, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Pick one thing and work on that. Make the main thing the main thing. So after conversations, we were talking through, I'm like, nah, we're going to work on getting your pace up. After 1 week, it's not working. I'm like, all right, cool. How many sessions have you had? I've just had one session. I'm like, mate, we need to stick at this long enough. We need to stick at this, that's for sure. Because you haven't given yourself a chance to actually get better. So going back to, we can have it all, but we can't have it all at once. Being crystal clear on what the main thing is and going towards that is the key. So we're like, no, we're just going to work on pace. This next, however long it takes, we're just going to work on getting your ball speed to level, getting you comfortable with a new technique, with a new strategy of getting the ball down at that speed. And it comes to me straight away, it's like, I've lost my spin, I've lost my flight from one session. And if he wasn't talking to me, he probably would have stopped and just gone back to being comfortable. But I had the objectiveness to go, because I'm not in his head, I'm not dealing with the emotion. I'm like, mate, of course you've lost your flight. Of course you've lost your spin. Because you've increased your pace. And you haven't even grooved that. You haven't even got used to that yet. If it's one session, you've bowled 40 balls. It's like, oh, yeah, probably true, hey? And we keep working on it. He keeps going down to the nets. He keeps on grooving that. We're improving his pace. We've changed the way how he trains. We're doing less volume in sessions, more rest between balls to actually train his nervous system to produce speed rather than just flogging him with volume. 1 week in, it's not working. Maybe we should focus on something different. I'm like, no. We identify this as the main thing. This is what we're doing. Week 2 comes along. Bang. Up by 5Ks. He found something that clicked. And that happened because he stayed the path for long enough. And the job's not done, obviously. We're still working on it. And we're still finding ways to increase pace even more. And he's still figuring out what it feels like to do that. But it's super important. I can't stress this enough that if he just stopped, he would still be the same bowler come October 1 when the season starts. So it's super, super important that sometimes you just need to stick at it for a little bit longer. Because sometimes progress can feel like failure at first and you feel like, nothing's working. But you got to lean into that more. And you've got to keep going even when it's challenging. That's the tough part. That perseverance is the main thing there when it comes to that. Because I personally reckon that natural ability and talent is a little bit overrated. And it's just your ability to sit in the growing pains for long enough to develop the skill. Like skills are just, we can develop skills. We know we can develop skills. We know we can learn something new. So if you want to learn something new and learn a new technique or a new style of play or whatever it is, you just got to stick at something long enough and have the best plan in place to be able to do that for longer. So important. I'd love to know in the comments any times you've felt like giving up on something, developing a new technique, whatever it is, and being like, nah, I'll stick at it for longer. And then it finally came through. That'll be elite. And we're going to finish up there. I'll finish with this. Are you willing to look average for a few weeks or a couple of months to get to where a level that you have not reached before? That's a trade-off. That little bit of feeling uncomfortable, the part where you shit, how long can you stick at that? Is it worth it to get to the level of cricket that you want to be in the long run? I'll leave that with you. If you are interested in joining up with me and becoming coached by me on a weekly basis through my coaching, the links are down below. I'd love to help you play the highest level of cricket you ever possibly have. That would be sick. Absolutely loving coaching at the moment, mate. Getting some good results with the crew all around the world. So it's been awesome. So I've been loving it. I've been having such a good time. And if you would love to join the team, join the community, then I'd love nothing more. But if not, have an awesome day, and I'll see you next week.